There you go.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Really? I get pats on the cheek. Bunch of pearls.
Come on, Riley, what did you want her to do? Get on her knees and kiss your feet? Just because you spent money on Violet, for her birthday I might add, that doesn't entitle you to affection.
You think I flew for 2 days to come here?
Yeah.
And I might not want to see you? If I want to see you? You kidding me?
Riley's really not getting the level of affection he was expecting from Violet on this trip. But before we dive into why that might be, let's start at the beginning. We left Riley in the last episode about to head over to Vietnam after ignoring all the warnings of his friends and family. Now, while he has his suspicions about Violet, he's hoping to clear up their issues on this trip. But the thing is, it's going to be very hard for them to have a real conversation through all the bizarre games they play with each other.
I can't wait to give Violet a hug, but we have a bet. Whoever touched the other person first loses. So if I touch her first, she wins total control of me.
Now, this isn't exactly the first odd dynamic that we've encountered with these two. For example, we learnt that instead of saying I love you, they flip each other off. Now, I guess some people might find this cute. It's certainly unique. But for me, I think there's something off about these two. It's like they're using games to maintain some kind of emotional distance from one another. Rather than it being something that connects them, it just keeps them further apart. Now, we'll come back to the fact that whoever wins this bet between them will have total control over the other, because that becomes important later. But for now, Violet's getting ready to meet Riley for the very first time at the airport.
I think Riley is excited like me. Maybe he really love me and that's why he come here. Tôi hy vọng rằng anh ấy nghiêm túc và tôi cũng hy vọng cho cái mối quan hệ này phát triển tốt.
These two have been talking for over 2 years, yet Violet's still not sure if Riley's serious or even loves her. This is exactly what I was talking about. By not vocalising their feelings and by covering it up with these weird games, it's created this emotional distance where neither of them actually know where they stand.
Look at you, beautiful. Oh, you're gonna hug me first, you're gonna lose the bet. You hug me, you lose the bet.
No.
Now, I can see why some people might think this is kind of cute. Jokes can be a great icebreaker when first meeting someone, because we all know that first meeting can be very awkward. Riley seems absolutely blown away by Violet's looks. There's no doubt he's excited by what he sees, but if he was hoping for some action, well, he better keep his expectations low in that regard.
You look more beautiful. You got a nice ass.
My body.
Yeah.
Everything nice.
While Violet seems happy to flirt back, we have to remember that she's from a more conservative culture. So while Riley's clearly very attracted to her, he knows that they're not going to be intimate tonight, or tomorrow night, or even the night after. But, ever the trooper, he remains hopeful. And when checking into the hotel, he requests an extra key for his room for her.
She explained in her culture that sleeping with a man that she's not married to is inappropriate. I can definitely respect that, but she knocks on the door, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah, keep dreaming, Riley. I don't think that's going to happen. So, while it's nice to see that he's respecting her wishes, it doesn't really feel like he has a choice. Violet is clearly the one in control, not just because she won their little game, but also in terms of the power dynamic between them. It really feels like she's the one calling the shots. She's the one wearing the pants in this relationship.
What time you want to meet?
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm your boss.
You're my boss.
Yes.
Already, in the short amount of time that we've seen them together in person, we've seen Riley take on a more submissive role. But is he actually happy to do so? Or will we start to see him push back? Perhaps as he gets more and more comfortable with Violet.
Follow me.
I follow you. Boss.
I know I'm your boss.
Yeah, for now.
No, the end's your life.
Yes, ma'am.
So will Riley be able to stand up to Violet and demand things for himself, especially when it comes to finding out more about her past? Don't forget, there's a big elephant in the room. The fact that Riley still has suspicions that she may be talking to other men. For the time being at least, all of those suspicions are on pause because he has 2 weeks in Vietnam. Tonight is their very first night together, so he plans on just enjoying the night, having a nice dinner together. But from the get-go, Riley's already off to a bad start.
You know, in Vietnam, we have traditional men always waste women.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, so next time I wait for you.
What I find really interesting about Violet is her duality of character. What I mean by that is this is a lady who's clearly very confident, outspoken and dominant. Yet she comes from a culture where traditionally women are seen as more submissive. So there's this really interesting line that Riley's going to have to dance along, where he's going to need to treat Violet the way that she expects to be treated as a Vietnamese woman, whilst also allowing her to be herself. For now, he looks like he's open to trying it.
This is definitely the Violet I know. Very sassy, very direct in what she's expecting or what's going to happen. I'm all about it.
Riley wants full transparency on this trip. We know he's already talked to a private investigator about following Violet to find out her secrets, but in the end decided he'd try and talk to her in person first. That is a huge red flag. It clearly shows that he's lacking trust in this relationship. There's already some very clear question marks beginning to form. For example, he says that he loves Violet being this direct woman. But his past relationships and his history in the military has left him needing to feel in control in order to actually be comfortable. Something already tells me he's not going to be in control in this relationship with Violet.
The training that I received, I have to think of the most insane thing that could possibly happen and how will we prepare for it. That trained me to not let my guard down.
Now, this side of Riley has yet to come up, but I have a feeling that when he starts interrogating Violet, we're going to see the insecure side of his personality start to come out. Maybe we won't even have to wait that long, because at their dinner, Riley decides to give Violet her belated birthday present. He's bought her a set of pearls, but her reaction has left him unimpressed.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Really? I get pats on the cheek. Bunch of pearls.
Riley's choice of words is raising alarm bells. Is his love transactional? I bought you pearls, so I expect love, admiration and applause in return. He's put enormous value on these pearls. But although I'm certainly not a jeweller, the fact that it's on this stretchy elastic band does make me wonder how valuable they are. Maybe someone more informed can let me know down in the comments below. The thing is, Riley certainly hasn't done his research because pearls are considered very common in Vietnam.
Trai không hiếm bởi vì từ Bắc tới Nam này Việt Nam mình nuôi trai rất là nhiều. Không có tại vì chị không phải là fan của Ngọc.
Instead of thinking, I got you this gift, so now you owe me affection, if he truly wanted the gift to be meaningful, if he wanted a genuine reaction from her, then maybe Riley should have made more of an effort to find out what Violet really likes. It's funny because Riley claims he loves how direct Violet is, but he doesn't seem to like it so much when she doesn't like his gift. In fact, he's so mad about this that he immediately starts to question Violet about all of his suspicions.
I have a lot of questions.
I just say tonight we are enjoying my birthday.
Yeah.
We don't talk about partying.
Violet is a queen of evasion, but she's right. It is their first night together. Plus, this is meant to be her belated birthday celebration. Now is probably not the right time for accusations and questions, but it's also an excellent reminder that Violet has a past that she wants to keep private, and that might be a real cause for Riley to be concerned.
Tiến đến cam kết gắn bó rồi lâu dài á, tôi cần anh ấy chứng minh là anh ấy tin tưởng tôi, không hỏi về quá khứ nữa. Điều đó nó chẳng mang lại ích lợi gì cả. We don't talk about the past, okay?
Okay. So, what are we doing tomorrow?
For now, obedient Riley is willing to drop the subject. But Violet is going to need to be careful because I have a feeling Riley won't be leaving Vietnam without the answers he wants. Whether that's going to be from her mouth or from the private investigator is something we'll soon find out. So, with their first night drawing to a close, what will the pair be doing tomorrow? This will be their first full day together in Vietnam. I'm sure after talking virtually for 2 years, there's got to be so many things they want to do together in person, right?
Tomorrow you need to relax, and at night if you want to meet me.
What do you mean if I want to meet you? I want to meet you.
Sorry, Riley. Turns out Violet's busy tomorrow. She has a full day of teaching. Now, Riley does need to relax a little. He does come across as a little aggressive there. Of course, he's allowed to be disappointed, but Violet teaches at a school. It's term time, so she can't just take off time so easily. This is something that she should have communicated to him ahead of time, but it's not the end of the world. Riley just needs to take the day to adjust to his settings. After all, Violet has agreed for dinner in the evening. The thing is, Riley doesn't see it that way. He seems to take it as a bit of an insult.
You think I flew for 2 days to come here?
Yeah.
And I might not want to see you? If I want to see you? You kidding me? Nah.
Maybe.
Instead of focusing on what Violet said, perhaps Riley should focus on why she said it. Yes, she's a teacher, and yes, it's difficult to get time off, but there's also deeper issues at play here. We know she's still not sure if he even loves her. We've seen it with our own eyes that even though he's told her she's beautiful about 1,000 times in this episode, he's yet to give her any emotional validation. He's coming across as a guy who just wants a pretty girl on his arm.
I'm only here for 2 weeks, and I don't understand how I'm not a priority for Violet right now. Sucks.
Now, for all his faults, Riley isn't wrong here. I mean, it's not outrageous for him to have assumed that she would be available for the duration of his trip. You know, what with the fact that there's also a TV crew following them around. If she really couldn't make it because of work commitments, then she should have warned him beforehand. I mean, a quick message is all it would have taken.
I'd expected a little more engagement from her between her reactions about the pearls and not wanting to speak about certain things and then not being able to spend time with me. It's definitely a little concerning.
I agree. I do think that Violet's hiding something from Riley, whether that's a dark past or a number of secret lovers or maybe something entirely different. I think it will be interesting to see whether Riley chooses to let Violet control the narrative or whether he takes it into his own hands.